What's good, everybody? In this video, I'm going to go over some common mistakes students make when answering multiple choice questions. Hopefully, you guys like this video. Smash the like button for us. So, first problem, it talks about the ratio of students who prefer playing the drums to trumpet. It's 2 to 5, and there are 28 students in the class. And then it asks us how many of these students prefer the drums over the trumpet. So what students want to do is come in and just set up a proportion. 2 to 5 is equal to x over 28. We use cross multiplication to get 5x is equal to 56. And once we divide, we get x is equal to about 11.5. And when we look at our answer choices, none of them are there. So what do we need to do to properly solve this problem? And once we go back, this is the error that we made. There's two ways I'm going to show you guys how to solve this. We could create an equation. 2x plus 5x is equal to 28. Simplify to get 7x is equal to 28. After we simplify by dividing, we will get x is equal to 4. So when we plug that 4 back into the equation, we know that we're going to get 8 students that prefer the drums, and we're going to get 20 students that prefer the trumpet. And when we add both of these answers together, that 20 and the 8, we're going to get 28. So we know our answer would be D. If you're one of the students who like to set up proportions, I got you. This is how we would do it. So we just have to rearrange it and make sure that we do it correctly, I should say. So just remember, out of 7 of these students, right, 2 of them are going to prefer the drums, right? So in a group of 28, how many of those students would prefer the drums? That's what we don't know. So we follow that same process of cross multiplication, and we'll get 7x is equal to 56. And once we divide by 7, we will get x is equal to 8, which is the same exact answer. So in this problem now, guys, they give us a rectangle and they want us to figure out the missing length so we could find the area. Our problem reads the width of the rectangle is x plus 2. The length is twice the width. What is the area of the rectangle? So what I see students do, or the first mistake I should say, is they'll come here and put x plus 4. And the reason why this is wrong is because we have to multiply 2 by that entire expression. So what we should have is 2x plus 4 as our length. And now that we know that, just remember that area is equal to the length times width. So to figure out our answer, we're going to use the box method just because it's real easy for us to visualize. So I set my box up. It's going to be 2 by 2. We have 2x plus 4 on top, x plus 2 on the side. And when I go ahead and multiply, I'm going to get 2x squared. X times 4 is going to give me 4x. 2 times 2x is going to give me another 4x. And then 2 times 4 is going to give me 8. Now, when I write this in standard form, I'm going to have 2x squared, right? Our like terms run diagonal. That'll give us 8x. And then the constant, there is nothing to add to it. So this would be our final answer, which will be answer choice C. So just make sure, guys, that when you multiply by 2, twice the width, that you multiply both x and 2. All right? In this problem, guys, they're giving us a scenario and they want us to match the equation slash inequality with it. So when we read, it says LeBron James is buying a gallon of milk for $3.99 and some number of boxes of cereal for $4.39 each. If LeBron has $20, which inequality can be used to model the scenario? So first off, shout out to LeBron James for being the #1 scorer, the GOAT. And two, I hope he has more money than $20. But when we're reading this, guys, imagine if your parents sent you to the grocery store and told you you only had or only gave you $20. What that means is, hey, we can't spend more than those $20. So automatically, let's use process of elimination and take away C and D because it says greater than or equal to 20. And all we has is $20 or less. Number two, now we go back and let's look at some key words. A gallon of milk in some number of boxes. So a gallon means that we're probably only going to have one. And then when we see some number of boxes, and especially when we see the word each, we should know that we're going to have to use a variable because we don't know the amount. So when I look at my problem here, I think the best answer choice would be A, right? We have 1 gallon of milk, meaning that 3.99 is going to stay the same. It's just one that we're buying. But what we don't know is the number of boxes that we bought. It could be one, it could be two, it could be three. However many it is, we're going to make sure we multiply it by that 4.39. And just remember, each is that key word. When we look at answer choice B, they flipped it around. They're telling us that, hey, we only bought one box and then we're going to buy a certain number of gallons of milk. But that's not what the problem said. It said a gallon of milk. So we know that this will be wrong. So when we have these type of questions, guys, just make sure that you read into it. Reread problem two, three, four times and just critically think about it because you guys could definitely do it. Let's go on now to our next problem. The reason I brought this problem up, guys, was because students waste too much time on these type of problems. They may get it right, but they waste too much time. And this is what I mean. So they're asking us when we plug in the x and we figure out the answer, the y for the equation, which one of the equations will give us these values? And I always tell my students pick the smallest numbers or the easiest numbers to work with because it's just easier. So what we want to do is focus on 0 and -2, right? So that means when I plug in 0 for x and I do what the equation tells me to, I should get -2 as an answer. 0 plus 9 is not going to give me -2. So we could cross that out. 2 times 0 plus 4, that's not going to give me that either. 0 plus 3 is not going to give me that either. But 3 times 0 is 0 minus 2 will give me that answer. So when you have a problem like this, guys, find the smallest x that you have and see if it fits any of the equations. Don't start off with -3 and -11 and then work your way down. It's going to be too time costly. Hopefully this was helpful for you. In our next problem now, we're talking about percent and percent increase. The problem reads, at the start of the season, you could serve a tennis ball at 43 miles per hour, and then we increase our speed by 12% by the end of the season, and they want to know what is the new speed at which we could serve. So this is what students normally do. They come in and they do 43 plus 12, and they're going to get 55 miles per hour. But guys, this would not be the right answer, okay? What we have to do is use multiplication. So first off, we need to get and understand what is 12% of 43. So to do that, we're going to have 43 multiplied by 0.12, right? Imagine if we put 12 over 100 and divided. Basically, we just move the decimal over two places to the left. Now, when we multiply, we're going to get 5.76. But what exactly does this number represent? That represents the increase in speed from 43 miles per hour. So for us to find out our final answer, we're just going to take 43 and add 5.76 to it. And once we do, we're going to get 48.76 miles per hour. So instead of our answer being A, our answer would actually be C, which would be the 43 miles per hour. So just don't rush or forget that simple trick that they try to get us with. So we're moving on to the last problem of the day, guys. And if you like this video so far, just ask that you smash the like button for us. Really helps us to get this video out to more students. So our last problem says 3 out of 70 athletes struggle with sleep. If we survey 63,000 athletes, how many should we expect to have this issue? So there's two ways I'm going to show you guys how to do this. We could set it up like a regular proportion. 3 out of 70 is equal to x out of 63,000. And then we could cross multiply to figure out our answer, right? And another way that we could also do this is, let's say we just divided 3 by 70 and we got a decimal of, let's see, 0.043. Now we could take this same decimal, guys, and we could multiply it by 63,000, right? And once we do that, we would get 2,709. And we notice that that's going to be the closest answer to D. So please don't try to just guess or estimate it. Just do the math. It's going to be so much easier. So let's say we just go back and we wanted to do the proportion. So what we would have is 70x is equal to, and let's just multiply this real quick, is equal to 189,000. Then as a result, we would just divide by 70 on both sides and we would get our answer of x is equal to 2,700 exact. So 2 ways to solve the same exact problem. Hope this video was helpful for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today on Algebra 1 with Mr. Peters.